Hi there, it's Kuruma back with yet more car talk. So yeah, in this video I'm hoping to address what has been a burning issue. It's quite ironic that I say it's a burning issue given that I'll be talking about electric cars. But nonetheless, I'll be covering the proliferation of electric cars in the SA market, what I think that could mean for us, and I'll also discuss the future of electric cars. As with the rush of SUVs that we've seen coming into the market, I think as of late, the last 6 months to a year, we've started to see more electric cars coming into the market. I think BMW's one manufacturer that's effectively flooding the market with electric cars. But just to give you an idea of the kind of electric cars we have on the market, I think one of the first electric cars to be brought to South Africa was the BMW i3, and then of course there's the iX3 now, there's the iX4, I just don't recall. Then most recently they launched the i4. Then of course Mercedes has the EQC, Audi has the e-tron Sportback, e-tron GT, Porsche has the Taycan. Most recently I see Volvo has launched the XC40. Then of course Jag has the electric I-Pace. As an honorable mention, the Golf is also an e-Golf somewhere in SA, but there hasn't really been extensive details on the pricing and the likes. And I see there's a chap on Trader that's selling Tesla Model Y, but that looks like a scam, FYI, for those who are looking to buy a Tesla in South Africa. Then the point is, where do I see this thing going? And in a South African context, do I think electric cars are something to look out for? Do I think electric cars are the next big thing? Look, I have nothing against them. I certainly cannot disagree with the fact that electric cars are the future. But in South Africa, I think that's certainly a distant future. And this is because of a couple of reasons which I'll outline during the course of the video. I think the first thing is the cost. Electric cars are expensive. I feel like they don't accommodate your average Joe, because the cheapest one that you can get now is the i3, and that's $500,000 for a car that will give you at max 300 kilometers of range, which is just ridiculous. Because most of those electric cars, when I look at, number one, the superchargers which are available to charge them, number two, the sort of range that you can get, they seem to be more suited in the city, and they seem to be more directed towards the elite, the bourgeoisie, people who have money. And it's not everyone that has money. And if you look at the sales stats of cars, you can see that the cars which are selling the most are your entry-level cars, which is, it makes sense to also include those people when making electric cars. I get that there's still a new thing, and over time perhaps we'll start to see a lot more affordable electric cars coming in, which is what I certainly look forward to. But until then, I still think, they're a bit of a reach for most people. And like I said, they seem to function better in the city, because here in South Africa there's no such thing as a city car. Things like your Hyundai Grand i10s, your Picantos, your Quads, you see them doing grand tours. People take them on 1,000 kilometers, 500 kilometer trips, and they hold back no punches. They push those things and they get there. So you'd want to now bring in an electric car that can give people that, and that doesn't break the bank. So at present, we're not getting that, and the government is not really doing us any favors, because this is not being subsidized. Elsewhere, they'll subsidize. They'll tell you, okay, it's fine, you bought an electric car, then we'll give you a rebate of X, Y, and Z. But yeah, you don't get that. Lest I forget, I think one of the other discouraging things about electric cars is the fact that there's so many unanswered questions around them. Number one, maintenance practices. What happens when the motor packs up? What happens when the batteries pack up? How much are you looking at to fix that? How much are you looking at to replace that? Because if you look at your internal combustion engine cars, I think after your critical mechanical components, your engine and your transmission, the next big headache is obviously your electronics. Now imagine having a car that's entirely electronic. the motor is electrical, and then obviously that's powered by your lithium-ion batteries and all of that. So I think that's what makes a lot of people shake in their boots. They want to see a formula that's tried and tested. And until then, people will always have negative things to say simply because they haven't seen anything positive. And I can't blame them for that. But I certainly think that there's plenty of room for improvement. And yeah, electric cars are certainly something to look forward to. And yeah, it may take a while for us to get to a point where everybody can comfortably say, I'm going to buy an electric car. But I think it's definitely worth working toward. The condemnation of electric cars is, at least according to me, backwards thinking. Because I think they represent an evolution in the motoring world, and there's been so many things that have evolved over time that have made cars a lot safer, that have made cars a lot more comfortable, that have made cars better in so many different ways. And I think definitely electric cars are the next step in the line, and we can't just condemn them. I think we also need to work towards making them better, making them a lot more inclusive. And that way, I think we'll all be able to enjoy all the fruits that this electric cars promise to bring. But until then, I think there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of R&D to be done. And I mean, of course, you need to make a car that's suitable for a market. And at this stage, I feel like it's only working for a minority.